Okay, so continuing on in Pike's Morals and Dogma. At the bottom of page 1, he is saying, to attack the citadels built up on all sides against the human race by superstitions, despotisms, and prejudices, the force must have a brain and a law. In other words, humanity is surrounded, as with a citadel, by prejudices, ignorance, darkness, despotisms, and in order to combat these negative influences on humanity, it takes a brain, it takes an intellect to achieve the goodness which law can give humanity. Now, this is the moral law as well as the law of the land. Then its deeds. Now, its deeds, the antecedent to this sentence, is to humanity as a whole. Then humanity's deeds of daring produce permanent results, and there is real progress. Then there are sublime conquests. Like Socrates said, know thyself. We learn more about who we really are as children of the architect, the almighty architect of the universe. And as such, we treat everyone else right, good, just, and true with love and benevolence. These are sublime conquests. We learn to love our neighbor as ourselves. Where have you heard that before, right? So thought is a force, and philosophy should be an energy, finding its aims and its effects in the amelioration of mankind. So using our thought, we produce the force of law, goodness, justice. We regulate ourselves and others so that all mankind can benefit in a good, uplifting way. And the two great motors to accomplish this are truth and love. So when all of these forces are combined, he says, and guided by the intellect, and regulated by the rule of right and justice, and of what combined and systematic movement and effort, the great revolution prepared for by the ages will begin to march. The critics completely misconstrue this. They will say, well, you Freemasons are in a vast conspiracy to join into a one-world government. You're going to overtake the world. And they make it appear to be sinister. In one respect, we are in a revolution as Freemasons. We are in a revolution to fight for the freedom for mankind. Goodness, truth, equity, justice, harmony. All that is good is what we seek. That's our revolution. The scriptures speak of a millennium of peace. This is that great revolution that can occur if we all live justly with each other, and we do unto others as we would have them properly do unto us, as we learn to love, respect, and enjoy life, and make sure others also have those opportunities of enjoyment. That's the revolution. Goodness, peace, prosperity, and love for all mankind. That is the Freemason Revolution. He does something very interesting here. He then gives us the foundation, the basis, as a parallel to emulate, to imitate, to incorporate into our actions. I love how he does this. This next sentence is good. The power of the deity himself is in equilibrium with his wisdom. Hence, the only results are harmony. This is the basis of our earthly actions. We base it of the law from heaven. Unfortunately, the balance, the harmony is out of balance with those who seek power over others to give themselves only the goodness of life. Enslaving others is not the way. Power and wisdom, based on truth and love, lead to the amelioration of mankind, the benefit to everyone. This is Pike's ideology here. Now, this next paragraph is a little bit tricky. Pike could have said it easier. I'll read it to you and then translate it for you on page 2. It is because force is ill-regulated that revolutions prove failures. Therefore it is that so often insurrections, coming from those high mountains that domineer over the moral horizon, justice, wisdom, reason, and right, built of the purest snow... I dropped myself. Horrifying. Ouch, that hurt. Built of the purest snow of the ideal after a long fall from rock to rock, after having reflected the sky in their transparency, and been swollen by 100 affluents in the majestic path of triumph, suddenly lose themselves in quagmires like a California river in the sands. And you say, what on earth does that mean? To simplify it, to translate Pike here, he is saying, because the planning wasn't careful enough, because you didn't put all of your dominoes in a row, insurrections against tyrannies fail. If you don't have a harmonious cooperation, it begins with enough enthusiasm to be sure. Yes, let's become free. And this is his idea. It's built the high mountains that domineer over the moral horizon. We want to get away from despotism, ignorance, and tyranny and darkness. We have good intentions, and we take the moral high ground with justice, wisdom, reason, and right. It's his poetic way of saying, if you don't carefully plan, it will fail. If you don't plan your life and then live your plan, you're just wandering here and there, meandering, getting nothing done, making no accomplishments, helping no others out. The millennium of peace will come about when everyone has the ideal of justice, goodness, mercy, truth, and love in them to the point to where they can live in that manner. That will defeat the forces of darkness. And it begins with each one of us. Insurrections will fail because they weren't governed correctly, they're ill-regulated, he says, or because starting off with the best of intentions, they completely disappear overnight, like a California river in the sands, because there's no coordination, there's no cooperation, and there's no serious intent of working together as a people together to spread the light and goodness and truth and love. He's not using this as a high sentimentality. He means genuine care. You know how we all care for our families. We go out of our ways to do extraordinary things for those who are closest to us. This is the power of the Freemasonic ideal of seeing all humanity as our family. You treat all peoples this way. Otherwise, we're going to fail. Just like an insurrection against a tyrant will fail if all people don't join up together and get rid of the bad. That's what that sentence, that's what that paragraph means. The onward march of the human race requires that the heights around it should blaze with noble and enduring lessons of courage. It does take courage to fight against the evil and the bad. It takes a special breed of person, one who has decided in his heart, I will stand on the good side to benefit all people. That is what Pike is leading toward. That's what he means. It's a great concept. When we hearten it, take it to our hearts, and use our intellects. Yes.